Our world is a world of water. The oceans cover nearly 71% of the Earth and supply us with the oxygen we need for every 2 breaths. From space, they look like an empty void of blue. But underneath the surface, they hold life, mysteries, and wonders that we could only imagine. However, much of sea life is now threatened by its top predator, humans. Pollution, climate change, and intensive overfishing threatens a significant amount of life in the seas, problems that we humans have created and thus are responsible to fix. But is overfishing really a significant and urgent problem that we need to fix? In an interview done with Dr. Tony Kozlow, a researcher from the Scripps Institution of Oceanography, Kozlow shared his opinion on the issue.
Overfishing it's a major issue in fisheries today. Recent data from the FAO, that's the Food and Agricultural Organization, indicates that about 90% of fish stocks in the world are either fully fished or overfished. So at one time, it looked as if there was a lot of room for expansion of marine fisheries. Today, marine fisheries have plateaued. In terms of the landings have plateaued for decades, really, and in fact, they may even have declined.
Let's turn the clock backwards. In the last 60 years, fish stocks have fallen by nearly 90%. Overfishing was not much of a problem until the 1980s, when the global fish capture reached its peak at around 80 million tons a year. Scientists are warning us that the world will be facing the collapse of all types of fish species in less than 40 years. What caused such a problem to arise in the first place? Human greed in the $250 billion fishing industry. Longline fishing vessels deploy nearly 1.4 billion hooks a year, each with a slice of fish hanging on them as bait. Furthermore, trolling vessels cast nets with an opening of nearly 23,000 meters squared, nearly the size of 4 football fields, and big enough to catch 500 tons of fish. Additionally, these nets are very prone to catching other types of fish that boats don't mean to catch, and in very large quantities that can cause severe damage to small fish populations. This bycatch is thrown out, discarded back into the ocean, and ultimately wasted. As a result of our actions and greed, marine life is paying the price. Overfishing is so dangerous because it disrupts the natural equilibrium of predator and prey in the marine ecosystem. Since the most commercially valuable fishes in our seas are large predatory species, fisheries have continuously targeted these fishes and rapidly depleted the population of predators, one such example being the prized bluefin tuna. However, by fishing too quickly and vigorously, the fisheries have put a lot of pressure on the ability of these top-level species to be able to reproduce and replenish themselves. In doing so, lower-level species become overpopulated and overcrowded. The ecosystem becomes more susceptible to diseases through greater rates of transmission, are more likely to be invaded by non-indigenous predatory species, and suffer from eutrophication, the overgrowth of plant life due to excessive nutrients, which causes the death of animal life due to the lack of oxygen. It's a vicious cycle that begins with overfishing, and will only stop if we take measures to combat overfishing. So what can we do that will end overfishing? Well, the politicians have the responsibilities to make and enforce laws that regulate fishing limits and create reserves that will ultimately end overfishing. Individually as students, there is not much that we can do that would have any noticeable impact. However, we have the responsibility as citizens to encourage and support our politicians to make the decisions that will restore our oceans and turn the tides of overfishing.